like the ocean, love you in slow motion. Anything it takes to make you stay. But I can't rely on you. Doesn't matter what I do. You say you need a time, I think you mean a buyout. Cause it's pretty clear you're on your way out. And though I understand it's hard sometimes to make up your mind in these trying times, yeah, I just can't accept you leaving me when I'm overseas with the heart so heavy. Think that I deserve the truth for once, not a guilty tone, cause you're not alone, yeah. You said you wanna come home, but I know you don't. So this time I won't hear it on the phone. If you got something to say to me, then say it to my face. What it's all about, why you're bailing out. Think you owe me an apology. Just say it to my face. You're sorry. You're so sorry. You're so sorry. You're so sorry. Say it to my face. You're sorry. And I quit my job for you, even quit some friends for you. Cause you couldn't stand it, me all independent, so you had to have me for yourself. That was when I trusted you, when I could add up 2 and 2. When you promised we'd be together, you, me, forever. Now there's nothing left to lose. And though I understand it's hard sometimes to make up your mind in these trying times, yeah, I just can't accept you leaving me when I'm overseas with the heart so heavy. Think that I deserve the truth for once, not a guilty tone, cause you're not alone, yeah. You said you wanna come home, but I know you don't. So this time I won't hear it on the phone. If you got something to say to me, then say it to my face. What it's all about, why you're bailing out. Think you owe me an apology. Just say it to my face. You're sorry. You're so sorry. You're so sorry. You're so sorry. Say it to my face. You're sorry. This time I think I get it. This love was overrated. No more infatuated. And I blame it on you, I blame it on you, yeah. This time I hope you get it. In love you shouldn't fake it, no. I'm old enough to take it. So just say it to me, say it to me. So this time I won't hear it on the phone. If you got something to say to me, then say it to my face. What it's all about, why you're bailing out. Think you owe me an apology. Just say it to my face. You're sorry. You're so sorry. You're so sorry. You're so sorry. Say it to my face. You're sorry.
am looking for a fire to keep me on the line. Yeah, a fire with a dazzling light. And I don't know if I am closer. Still looking for a fire in the end of the night. So don't hide it, 'cause I know that you do. I know that you do. Gotta find it now. I gotta find it now. Before it's over. Gotta find it now. I gotta find it I remember when you told me it's alright. Don't know why I could not see. We have to stay together now. Save me some time. Gonna be fine. The light. I am looking for a fire to keep me on the line. Yeah, a fire with a dazzling light. And I don't know if I am closer. Still looking for a fire in the end of the night. So don't hide it, 'cause I know that you do. I know that you do. Gotta find it now. I gotta find it now. Wait for me, baby. I gotta find it now. I gotta find it now. You say that you will change the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you wear your hair. Change the way you dress, the way you kiss, everything, 'cause you are scared that I might leave you. Well, why should I leave you? Baby, please don't talk to me that way. 'Cause I think you're perfect for me, just the way you are. And I don't ever want to leave you. Baby, don't you talk to me that way. And I'm sorry if I sound a little harsh, but I don't know how to get through to you. Because you don't seem to know that you are everything a girl could dream of. Baby, won't you hear me? Don't talk to me that way. 'Cause I think you're perfect
losing sleep while driving in the backseat. What's left of me? Drowning in what feels just like an ocean. Negativity is getting closer. Hard to keep the heat when it gets colder. You know, sometimes everything just gets hard. Sometimes everything just gets harder. Feeling like I'm missing some parts. Days just keep on getting much darker. Even when I'm down in the low, I remember what you were saying. Sometimes all you need is a spark. And maybe just a better kind of bitter. Lose gravity, I'm swimming in the quicksand. Up to my knees. Keep losing sleep, I'm manic, dream at midnight.
What's going on, y'all? It is J Red Unfiltered, and we are back with another show. We just want to say good morning to everybody. Top of the morning to you, and just if you tuning in, I just want you to say I appreciate you. Thanks for stopping through. Yeah, I'm gonna start doing these like chill streams in the morning because basically for no other reason I be bored sometimes, and I like kicking it with people. So having these discussions. So today I want to have a discussion about, and it's gonna like this one might ruffle some feathers, but I saw on social media and even YouTube just a little bit that there's this debate going on, right? Specifically like on TikTok. These TikTokers are going back and forth, and they're going back and forth over the argument of being afraid of hood people. And so there have been people that have been coming forward talking about the fear that they have of being in hood environments and the behavior exhibited by hood people. And guess what? Like like Bannerman answering the call of their liege lord, all the hood boogers, all the hood people, they just started, and like, I'm sorry to say it, but it's the truth. These people that are so indoctrinated by this lifestyle, they got to rising up, and they want to come in and they want to have basically criticize people for their experiences. In a nutshell, that's what we're looking at. We're looking at people who are criticizing people for their experiences. Hood people literally have the audacity to be mad because there are people that are afraid because of the fucked up lifestyle that they live. And that's crazy. Excuse my French, but this is serious. This is really serious because this goes to show the indoctrination and how deep it is that black culture is just determined to hate itself. Look at it. You can't even express that your fear of something. They didn't even say they hate black culture. They don't even go as far as I do. They don't even go as far as to say divest from it. They just said they're scared of it. They're scared of it. But you know what? The best way to always go at these situations is to look at them and hear it from the horse's mouth. That's the best way, to just hear it from the horse's mouth. Because I'm not from the hood. So I 100% understand
Afraid to
where
say
these
this
people coming from.
anymore.
Let's
I
listen
don't like
to
to
it.
hang around hood blacks. I'm not going to give you a dissertation like some of my peers have. They have put it so eloquently.
I'm not sure if the second girl was in response to the first girl, but I do know that the first young lady is the one that made that video that got a lot of views with the two pictures, right? Saying what she was saying. And this is kind of sad to me because like the first girl stated, she grew up in the hood. She knows what that life, with growing up that way, what that entails. And by the second girl's logic, you know what I'm saying, the first girl can't even deal with the post-traumatic stress that she has from growing up in the hood. She gets anxiety because apparently she's done whatever she had to do to get herself out of that environment. And if you are really from that environment and you didn't want,
Just want to say what's going on, y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Thank you. You could have been anywhere, but you chose to be here, rock out with me, and I appreciate you, and I appreciate the likes. Thank you so much.
to be of that environment, you did things to get yourself.
And feel free to give y'all input on this too. I really want to hear what y'all got to say.
Out of that environment. Well, once you do that, you do have the right to say, this is why I removed myself, or I worked hard, or I did what I had to do to get out of that environment. It's like the hood can traumatize people, and it really does, bro. Just by growing up in the hood and being surrounded by, you know, all of the negativity and all of the poverty and bro, being smart and not being cool, and being dumb and being cool as fuck. Like a case in point, like you can look on any random Facebook feed and you're gonna see free so-and-so, or when a dude come home from jail, they giving him shit, you know what I'm saying? But then you look at the same, you flip that, and a kid graduates from high school, we don't give him shit, we don't do nothing for him, right? So there are people that grew up in the hood that are dealing with post-traumatic stress, bro. Bro, that shit, I don't give a fuck what y'all think. I grew up in a fucking war zone, my nigga. I grew up in a fucking war zone. It was like some Call of Duty type shit. This shit was crazy. But I didn't realize it until I got away from it. Like, once I got away from it, and when I didn't hear gunshots all the time, then I realized, like, damn, like, everybody don't live like this. So now,
it's 100% not normal. Waking up with gunshots all around you all the time is 100% not normal. It's 100% not normal. And the fact that there are people out here that are trying to convince you that it's normal, it doesn't make sense.
When I go
look
back,
at another video. Let's
If you are black and you are afraid of ghetto people, you are whitewashed.
That must be the dumbest take in this whole conversation. I thought as a collective group, we agreed that black people are not a monolith, and that you can exist as a black person and not associate yourself with hood culture, or need to be familiar or comfortable with ghetto. So to sit there and tell people that if you do not like hood activities, then you must be anti-black, then you're saying that hood activities and being ghetto is a black attribute or characteristic. And this type of mindset is exactly why black people in the diaspora have such a division amongst each other, and why there is so much.
Listen, guys, if you've watched any of my content over any amount of time, you know how I feel about what she just said. That was the point right there. You guys will sit up, and I'm not talking about y'all in the chat. Y'all are dope. I appreciate you. I'm talking about people that are out there will sit up and they will literally criticize somebody for saying black culture is trash. But then they'll use the argument, oh, we're not a monolith. Oh, everybody isn't like that. Everybody isn't like that. But then at the same breath, let you criticize hood culture, let you criticize the hood, the way the hood does things, the way the hood moves. And then guess what? Now all of a sudden, oh, now the worst of us is set to represent all of us. How is it that the lowest of the low even get a voice? Why do they even get a voice? Let's just be for real. No, I'm sorry. I'm not even trying to be mean about this, but what gives the bottom in what culture, in what society, in what civilization does the bottom of the barrel get a voice to dictate what the overall group should do? Since when? When has that ever happened? When has that ever happened? Jimmy Vila says, if you're out of the hood mentality, you're simply progressing in life, making better life choices. I agree because the hood mentality it's a trap. It's a trap. The truth of the matter is the same prison that people love to say, talking about white people and what white people are doing to black people, that same prison, that same mental prison is hood culture. Hood culture. They don't have to do nothing to you because hood culture will do it. Hood culture will do it. And these people nowadays use hood culture as a representation of black culture. It's a gauge of your blackness. It's how people judge your blackness. If you ain't seen this hood movie, you ain't seen this movie, this movie, this movie, this movie, you ain't been here, you ain't done this, you ain't seen this, you ain't lived this kind of lifestyle, this kind of struggle, then you're automatically not as black. Your melanin doesn't mean as much because you don't have that shared hood experience. And that's the culture. That's what culture literally is. Shared experience. Culture is shared experience, and as long as we sit here and allow the bottom barrels of society, the bottom of the barrel, the bottom, the low lives, as long as we continue to let the low lives have a voice in society, then guess what? We're going to continue to see, and black culture is going to continuously be, in the black community specifically, is going to continuously be judged and ridiculed based off of the actions of those people. That's the truth. That's the truth. You want to have real talk? Let's have real talk. Hood culture is some of the most destructive, evil, just vile environments that you will ever be in. And black people are comfortable with it. Most people are comfortable with that. Fine. If you want to live in the bottom of the barrel, do so. If you want to live in shithole areas, do so. But don't criticize other blacks for wanting better. What gives you the right to criticize other blacks because they want to be better? They want to do better. They don't want to be in that same shithole environment.
Much conversations of people wanting to disassociate themselves, because apparently if you do not associate, you do not like, and you're not comfortable with hood activities, hood culture, or whatever it is, you are anti-black and not black enough. You must accept it, you must tolerate it, and hood activities is black people stuff, apparently.
Thank you for your comment.
The second we stop associating all black people and blackness with hood culture, the better we will be as a whole.
If you are black and you are afraid of ghetto people, you are whitewashed.
That must be the dumbest take in this whole conversation.
Whitewashed. You're whitewashed. You're whitewashed. Let's hear what these people.
Had to be the single dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. Why do motherfuckers insist on using the word whitewashed incorrect? Hood culture does not make up all of black culture. So being afraid of a hood person doesn't all of a sudden make you white. Doesn't take away your black card. So not only did you say that ignorant ass shit, recorded it, reviewed it, looked at it, and then still posted. But I'm gonna keep it respectful. And all this video and any other video like it, and anyone in the comments talking about it, shows me is that you niggas lack the ability to have necessary conversation. And while I don't like the trend, I don't see any real problem with it. At least not enough for me to get mad about it and make some fucking video, because y'all yourselves are showing y'all own internalized hatred of your own people. Why did you internally read hood people and associate that with all black people? And then in the same breath say, oh, if you don't fuck with them, you don't fuck with any of us. So you're white. There's a reason.
The hypocrisy of black culture. The hypocrisy of black culture. He's absolutely right. You cannot say on one hand that hood culture doesn't represent black culture, and then on the other hand say that if you don't rock with hood culture, then you're not part of black culture. Those two things cannot be true at the same time. And and I hate to say it, but that's why a lot of these niggers are so stupid, because they sit there and they go along to get along with whatever the hood gotta say. And
that hood culture and black culture are two separate things. And it's so disingenuous to disregard the experiences of other people simply because these two groups of individuals are the same skin color. Like, maybe did it ever occur?
That's exactly what I said at the beginning of the video. That's exactly what I said. These people are literally hood people are literally telling people that their experiences, they're judging them for their experiences based off of their actions. That's like the biggest form. Like, everybody loves to throw that gaslighting word around. You don't think that this is the actual definition of gaslighting? You don't think that? You don't think that? I do. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that is the actual definition, example of gaslighting someone. You're telling them that their experiences don't matter. And because of said experiences and their reaction to said experiences, now they're whitewashed. Now they're less black. It's insane to me. It's insane.
Argue that they're afraid of hood people because of their own experiences in life? Or maybe some people are just non-confrontational and don't like certain areas or certain ways that people act in public. And so most of my friends, we can code switch. That's easy. We know time and place for everything. But in most cases, hood people don't. And they act that way everywhere. So again, like I said, this trend is not about black culture. It's about hood culture. And if you associate yourself with hood culture, say that then.
I let that video play all the way through because I needed you to hear all the information said in it. This video is going to be long, but I'm going to try to condense that information. Now, fun fact, I already recorded a 10-minute video, stopped it, and then starting over, okay? I'm trying to make it shorter this time. Cognitive dissonance is a psychology term that describes something that happens when you have a previously held belief or thought or notion, and you run into information that clashes with that directly. The example they like to give, if you like Google it, is like, I smoke. Smoking can kill you. Maybe I don't smoke enough, or those studies aren't strong enough, yada, yada, yada. There's cognitive dissonance here happening where people are saying, I'm afraid of hood people. And then someone got online and said, if you are afraid of ghetto black people, that makes you whitewashed, okay? And that's offensive. It makes people angry. It makes you go, no, I'm not whitewashed. You're just not thinking, right? Now, I want to take a quick moment, a quick aside. Now, whitewash isn't the term I would use. I would say anti-black. I think it most definitely makes you anti-black. And as a quick aside,
how in the French toast does being or does not liking hood culture make you anti-black? But those same people will sit up and say that black culture is more than hood culture. Those two things can't be true at the same time. I'm sorry. That's literally like saying the sky is blue and the sky is red at the same time. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? How is it anti-black? But you know what? Maybe I should just let him explain, right? Hopefully he will explain.
no one is saying that hood culture is inherently what all black culture is, or that to be in the hood you have to be black. It's literally a TikTok trend on black TikTok of black people talking about black things. So people are associating I'm afraid of hood people with black people because this is black people having a conversation, okay? Let's not play coy about that one. Don't just add words into people's mouth. Now, because of this cognitive dissonance, people aren't really taking the time to really think about what it means for being afraid of hood people or being anxious around hood people to be anti-black, to be, quote, whitewashing, even though, once again, not my preferred word. The first thing is you have to think about how do you necessarily define a hood person, right? I collected a bunch of comments that I'm going to read off now from a video I made earlier about this. You're taking the word hood and defining it with the negative notions white people give black people, while the word is actually being used to describe the culture found in the hood, scamming, crash outs, etc. Let's not forget that. We're going to come back to that. You're trying to be faithful and considerate to black history, but no one wants to be around rowdy hood people. No one has time for that childish shit. So what are we calling the men that stand outside gas stations harassing women selling CDs? You don't have to associate with everyone just because they look like you. Bro, when she said hood people, she meant the dudes that want to look scary and will kill you, not just black people from low-income areas. I'm just afraid of the crackheads, meth addicts, and the drug dealers that sell it to them, and anyone who has any mental disability, because all the motherfuckers are crazy. Ghetto and hood aren't synonymous. Being a hood rat is an activity and the profession, not necessarily how they look. Now we need to disassociate the word hood with black. Being hood isn't going to define our blackness anymore. You guys are creating this straw man argument where the thing you're saying is like, no. See, the problem is you're anti-black because you're associating being hood with being black, where black culture is one thing and hood is this other dirty, nasty thing. You guys are not instead questioning why you believe the culture of the hood or what it means to be like from the hood to mean the culture of scamming out, crashing, to be dangerous, right? The reason she called y'all whitewash.
One thing I will say so far, I can give him his credit. I might not agree that this is anti-black, but what I will say is that he is correct in calling out he's being pretty fair calling it out down the middle as far as like the fact that it is really a straw man argument. It's really, I mean, it's just silly. It's really a silly argument because these same people they don't speak for the whole culture, right? So what's going on? Time says J-Red and family stay healthy, focused, and motivated every day. Appreciate you for stopping through, Time. Appreciate you. He says he says that basically the people accusing people of being anti-black because they have, or because they follow hood culture, or because they are embracing hood culture, or they're not embracing hood culture, their refusal to embrace hood culture, I'm sorry. And basically because of that, that makes them anti-black. Now, that's a straw man argument. I want to hear if he's going to agree with me on why it's a straw man argument.
Is because you are associating impoverished black people.
Hey, what's going on, Maria? Hope all is well. Hope all is well. Thanks for stopping through. Appreciate it.
With an inherent danger. It's Reagan era welfare queen rhetoric. It's Bill Cosby's pound cake speech. I'm not coming this from the perspective of like black history and, you know, I have to look down. I'm from the hood. I'm from the Cooper Road in Shreveport, Louisiana, which has been renamed Martin Luther King Boulevard, but nobody fucking calls it that. I used to stay at Prince Village Apartments every summer with my grandma and go down to Tuminella's and get the chicken strips, okay? If anyone from Shreveport sees this video, they can tell you Cooper Road is the hood. Now, the point I'm trying to make here isn't, well, I'm from the hood and I sound like that. It's not about me. The thing I'm saying is that I know a lot of people who y'all would be anxious around, and those people pose absolutely zero threat to you. They're zero threat to anybody, but they dress.
So my grief with what he's saying is basically that idea and that notion doesn't just come from nowhere. It doesn't just come just out the blue. And that's what I hate when people like use arguments like that. The idea that people have about black culture is one thing, right? So let's say for instance, my premise is wrong. Let's go with you guys' premise. My premise is that black culture is trash. The culture is trash. And that means that hood culture is involved in that. Let's say my premise is wrong, and what I'm simply describing is a certain subculture of black culture, which is so small and insignificant that it has no bearing on anything outside of itself, even though we know that black hood culture influences black culture all the way. It influences all of the aspects we see are influenced by black culture, but then at the same time, we look and we see, let's say that it doesn't. Let's say that it doesn't. Let's say that hood culture isn't influencing the music. Let's say that it's not influencing the youth and behavior. Let's say it's not influencing other cultures to emulate that behavior. Let's say that it's not something popular to see on TV. Let's just say that the hood lifestyle is not popularized and basically glamorized. Let's not say that, okay? Let's just go with your argument, or the mass argument, which is that it's simply a subset and that it has no bearing. So hood culture, right? Why do we have that perception of hood culture? We have that perception of hood culture because of the behavior that hood culture exhibits. The behavior that they put out. The experiences of people that have gotten out, the experience of people that are still there, the stories that come out of the hood. All these things are trash. By definition, it's trash. It's the bottom of the barrel of black culture in a black society. And yet and still, people will sit there and equate that to blackness. They will use your involvement with the hood, your association with the hood, and they will use that to basically tell you that you aren't black enough because you don't have this experience, because you don't live this particular kind of way, you didn't go through this particular kind of struggle. So when people say, why do you have this perception of hood people? They have the perception of hood people because that's the image that the hood puts out. The image that the hood allows to be put out. White people ain't doing that to you. The news is not doing that to you. The news is just covering what's going on. In general, you know what I mean? A lot of times they do be faking, but they fake for their own reason. It's different. So the news covers, they cover, sorry about that. My bad. Maria says, I'm back. My husband and I had such a wonderful vacation. Hi, Tom. Hi, Jay. Hey, what's going on? I appreciate you, Maria. Glad you had a great time. Yeah, I don't know. I'll be trying not to rant, but this argument is it's just crazy to me. It's crazy to me.
A type of way, they sound a type of way, they look a type of way, they're from areas that you associate with the hood. To y'all, hood culture, to be from the hood is, or to consider yourself hood, is to be dangerous, it's to be threatening, it's to be a crash out, it's to be a scammer. To me, it's playing basketball in the street. To me, it's going down to the snow cone spot when it opens up in the summer. To me, it's grandma waking you up for an early ass church service. To me, it's cookouts. To me, it's dominoes on the porch. The anti-blackness here is that when you hear hood people, when you hear hood, when you hear of a hood person who makes you anxious, you thinking of a dangerous crash out, somebody who's loud in public and threatening and awful.
And I'm gonna be honest, that is what a lot of us see. That is what a lot of us think, because that's what comes out of the hood. Even when you go into the hood, that's what you see. That's what you see. And I don't understand how we can't see. Like, nobody is saying that that's what it is every day, but we have to admit that we don't just hear about the O blocks in places like that. You know what I mean? Like, we don't just hear about that for no reason. It's, yeah, if you live there, yeah, look, I don't know. I think people be capping. That's just the truth. I think people cap a lot. Like a lot. Let's see. Time says, how can you be afraid where you come from? I don't live in the streets. I lived with my pops and mom. That means something. I went fishing, camping, and learned hard work equals success with dedication. Yeah. And that's, I think that's a valid point. I mean, yeah, most people, you're going to have a certain tolerance for certain things when that's where you come from. You know what I mean? When you come from somewhere, of course, you're going to have a certain tolerance. You're going to know how to navigate. But what it is, when people get out and then they experience different, they realize, whoa, this is not the way it's supposed to be. And like, just even the fact of you being able to get out and do things, that puts you ahead of the game, Time. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people didn't have that experiences. Their experiences was running around the neighborhood, getting into trouble. And that's the truth. And I'm not just saying that in a judgmental way, because that can happen whether you're in the city, whether you're in the suburbs. But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? There is a certain mindset that you notice when it comes to people from certain areas. And that's the truth. I mean, it sounds judgmental, but I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm conflicted about this. I honestly am, because yeah, if I'm admitting it, like, I would say, yeah, I teeter more on being anxious and cautious around hood people. That's the truth. I teeter more on that side. But it's also not just exclusive to people from the hood. I I'm anxious around people that exhibit behaviors, not so much that are from a place. So that's the best way I can say it. So I don't care if you're from the hood or not. I got friends from the hood. I got friends that are really from the hood. So I mean, I'm not saying that I don't judge people based off of that. I judge people based off of behavior. So if you a shiesty dude, yeah, I'm anxious of you. Yeah, I don't want to be around you. Yeah, if you come from certain areas, it's the truth because you know how people get down. And I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'm conflicted. Tom says Maria, Mary blessings and welcome back. Maria says, I had several friends who were black while growing up. I didn't even notice the differences. I love hanging with them and their families because they were so loving. And yeah, I think it was I think it's a taught thing. You know what I mean? Because usually those negative experiences have to be brought in. They have to be brought in my opinion. That's just my humble opinion. So yeah, I'm glad you didn't have those negative experiences, believe it or not. And you know, some people they just want to prove a point. No, I'm actually glad when people don't have those types of negative experiences. It's the truth. Maria says, I was never really afraid of black people until I saw all the riots, theft, and disregard for police. But white people do that too. And that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. I think that's a true statement. I think white people do riot. They do. I mean that's a true statement. They do. I think people riot. People riot. I think that's a people thing. I think what it is I think when you look at it's a difference, but it is a difference, and it's gonna sound bad if I say that. It is a difference. Yeah, it's a difference. You know what I mean? It's a difference because I just haven't seen white people tear up their neighborhoods the same way black folks will and did. You know, I'm heavily against those riots. I don't mind protests, but like riots and looting and all that kind of stuff, I'm not gonna say that it doesn't happen. I'm just saying I've seen white people tear stuff up. I just haven't seen them do it the way that black folks was doing it during those riots and stuff. They were literally just looting. I've seen white people tear stuff up. I think that's the key difference. Like people were going down to the Mike Brown, like in those Orlando Castile, all those riots. They were going down there for the sole purpose of looting. It wasn't about, oh yeah, we just down here and it's just happening. They were going down there for the sole purpose of looting and starting altercations with law enforcement. So yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, I just think it's a little bit different, but that's just my opinion. Time says my pops was like Joe Clark from the movie Lean on Me, and definitely James Evans of Good Times. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Like for real, man. That's really dope. That's really dope. Seriously. Time says kids know no color. That's facts. Yeah, that's facts. Haters taught. There's a taught culture. You know what I mean? If you grow up, if you go raising your kids not to think anything like that. Like me, I grew up in private school around mostly white kids. There were a few black kids, but we didn't grow up tripping off of that. Like that wasn't it, that honestly, race never became an issue for me until I got into black public schools. If I'm really being honest, race was never something that I was concerned about until I got around just strictly black kids, and just it became all about this blackness and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It never became an issue. It was never an issue. I never experienced race. It was taught. And then I had to go through my whole pro-black, that woke era. God help me. I'm so glad. Thank you for coming. Thank God for growth, because at the end of the day, that's a matrix that I had to literally learn how to break free from. I had to learn to break free from the matrix, because at the end of the day, that hate is taught. It's completely taught. It's completely taught and shoved into you by your environment, and it's not conducive to actually being successful in society, because just the same way that hood people want to be respected, guess what? If you walk around afraid of white people all the time, guess what? You're not going to be able to progress far in life. That's just, it's the truth. It's the truth. Hate is a taught culture. Maria says, time, that's true. Thank you guys for y'all comments. I appreciate you for tuning in. Let's get back to this guy.
When I think about hood people, I think about my loved ones. This isn't me just associating with everyone who looks like me. I think about my cousins. I think about my family. And those are wonderful, deep, beautiful, caring people who have families and lives and jobs and work, and they're from the hood and they're great. And to y'all, they are nothing more than a demographic on a fucking page. I can already predict the comments, because the comments are gonna be like, oh, hood culture, well, no, your family's not hood because they're doing well for themselves. What it means to be hood is to be a poor, dirty, black. Like, what you're describing, the way you all are speaking, that you can't see somehow is incredibly anti-black. You are afraid of black people who come from poverty. My mom was really particular about.
Jimmy Vila says, seems this dude is trying to promote hood as something positive. Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. That's exactly what he's doing. He's promoting hood like it's something positive. He's literally telling you that he's saying that the people's association of what is hood is fundamentally wrong, and that when he envisions hood, he envisions his family, his people that he cares about. So yeah, it's kind of like the same thing people say when they talk about me because I say black culture is trash. Well, they say, oh, but you're choosing to ignore all the positives of black culture. And that's literally what he's doing. That's literally what he's doing. He's choosing to ignore the negatives of hood culture, and in turn is saying that, oh, I have to choose to associate this with something like my family, to try to pull on people's heartstrings. But it just is what it is, man. You can't really talk to these kind of people if we've been really being honest.
The way that I spoke. I would always go back home and spend every summer back on the Cooper Road with my family in Shreveport, Louisiana, and she would make me speak a certain way. One, because she was a news anchor and it's how she spoke, but two, because she understood the power and privilege of not being perceived as that way. She understood that just from the very way that you speak, the moment you open your mouth, people will make judgments about you.
Facts. That's 100% true. That's 100% true. First impressions gotta be your best impression. That's the truth of the matter. First impressions gotta be your best impressions. The things you say, you will absolutely be judged by the things that come out of your mouth and how you talk, how you present yourself. So that's what they call it, code switching. They call it code switching for a reason. They call it a work mask for a reason. They call it a white voice for a reason. But why does it have to be, even just that in itself is a poor representation of black culture? Because why is it that in order for someone to be conceived as talking properly, why is it that when you're perceived as talking properly, then you're looked at as having a white voice, or you're looked at as less black? And this guy probably has experienced that himself. That's why I don't know why he's getting up here capping. Because anytime somebody talks like that, Never forget being called nerdy in 5th grade because of using multiple syllable words. Maybe y'all don't understand that feeling of having to dumb yourself down or thinking that you have to dumb yourself down or you have to dumb down the way you talk to appease other people. Maybe y'all can't relate to that. And I get that. And I understand that. But the truth is, some of us have experienced that. Where we've been criticized for the way that we talk. We talk white. Nerdy. You sound white. You sound like a nerd. You talk all proper. That's the kind of things that come out of hood culture. And the fact that this guy is just sitting here trying to pretend like black culture does not or is not influenced by hood culture and hood culture is inherently good is what he's saying is just it's just asinine. The truth of the matter is asinine. It's not true. It's not true. There's not you look, good things can come out of the hood. Good people can come out of the hood. The hood in itself is not good. The hood in itself is not good. It's not inherently good. Time says mothers are not Time says mothers are not raising children anymore. They're chasing the bag. Stepfathers like Steve Harvey and Russell Wilson. Good luck on that. That's funny. Yeah. Yeah, and that's what we left with, for real. Smash TJ says there wouldn't be a hood if it wasn't in the mind. I agree with that. I 100% agree with that. I 100% agree with that. It is in the mind. The hood is the biggest prison. In fact, I would argue that everybody that claims slavery, the hood is the real slave master. The hood is the slave master. Let's really talk about it. The hood is your slave master. The hood is the slave master that keeps you down, that beats you when you try to rise up, and that tells you, that makes you think that you can't be anything better than what you are. And then if you are, then you have the nerve to have survivor's guilt. Imagine that. You feeling guilty for being great, for being above everyone else. There are people that feel guilty for being better, for surviving, for getting out when other people couldn't. I'm not saying it's wrong to feel guilty. What I'm saying is that's hood culture. That's how deep the enslavement goes. They make you feel bad because you lived. You survived. You made it out. You made it out the hood, and they make you feel bad, make you feel like trash, or you feel bad and you feel like trash because you made it and other people couldn't. Survivor's guilt. Survivor's guilt. You've heard the stories. We can't sit there and no, I'm never on my platform. We are not just gonna sit here and just act like hood culture is something positive, because it's not. It's the bottom of the barrel, the lowest grade of society, and that doesn't mean that good people can't come from the hood. It don't mean that good people can't be in the hood. What it means is, call it what it is. It's trash. That's what I mean. It's trash. It's trash. Thank you for your comments, guys. I really appreciate it. Smash TJ says, if all people, no matter the color, help one another, it's no longer a hood, it's a community. Good luck with that. Some of these people in these videos, they made some very great points, Smash. I'll just be honest with you. You get too many people around too many people in a certain area, and guess what? It's gonna be chaos. Y'all ever been to seen the hood parks? The hood parks where everybody's out there, and then wait 15, 20 minutes. Now you see on the news, somebody just got unalived. Some brawl just broke out. I just showed you guys a video of those teens that went up and tore up Six Flags. Went to clowning. Dude was busting at the police, is in the hospital right now. Soon as he recovers, a 15-year-old boy is going to jail. He's going to jail soon as he can. Hood culture. Six Flags ain't in the fucking hood. You cannot blame, and you can't just blame the environment either, because what it is, a lot of these people, I'll give you an example of what happened in St. Louis, right? In St. Louis, a lot of people come from the hood and they move out to the county, the suburbs. Do you know what happens when they move out to the suburbs? They bring the hood mentality to the suburbs. Guess what? 20 years later, you can't tell the difference between the hood and the suburbs. You can't tell the difference besides geography. Now it's just a big mix. There is no distinction between hood kids and suburb kids, because the hood kids might have been out there with the suburb kids, and the suburb kids was probably out there with the hood kids. So there is no distinction. You can't just sit there and just say, oh, it's about the environment, oh, it's about the place. No, we're talking about a mentality. We're talking about a mental fucking prison that enslaves people and makes them think that they have to be trash in order to be successful. You can't be successful unless the hood tells you successful. You can't be great unless the hood thinks you great. You worry about that, and then we worry about the world. No, that's wrong. Get the fuck out of the sandbox. No, it's wrong. Excuse my French, but seriously, guys, like really think about this prison. This mental enslavement that has these people in a chokehold. But yet and still, they want to cry victims about what the white man is doing, what the white man is preaching about, how the white man's trying to keep you down, how the white man's making your life hard. No, the hood is your slave master. The hood is the one that's trying to destroy you. That's the truth of the matter. The hood don't love you. I'm sorry. It doesn't. Good luck trying to get a community. I'm sorry. That might sound really bad, but just good luck. Maria says, it seems like black people tear each other down. They unalive each other and make fun of each other. Yeah, it's really bad. Hate to say it, but that's black culture. Not hood culture, but that's black culture. Like Maria says, why do black people call other black people Uncle Tom? I've never understood that. Because they believe that you're a sellout if you try to be different. If you talk about what I'm talking about, I'll be labeled as Uncle Tom. I'm labeled as Uncle Tom because I think that the culture that wants to destroy itself and a culture that fights for the right to destroy itself is trash. That warrants me being labeled Uncle Tom. That's why, Maria, it doesn't make sense. It genuinely doesn't make sense. It's insane. It's insane. Questions that need answers. Maria, that's a great question. Why? Why? I don't have the answer for you. I hate it, though. I genuinely don't. Lynn, hey, what's going on, Lynn? Lynn says, hey, guys. She says we need more men like Joe Clark. Hearts, spot on, Jay. I appreciate you, Lynn. Thanks for stopping through. I appreciate you guys for y'all comments. It's just, I'm sorry, but this just gets me really triggered, because at the end of the day, how are you going to discredit these people's experience? How are you going to discredit people that have interacted with people from the hood, or people that have a valid concern about people from the hood, and you're going to discredit them and tell them, oh, you're not black. Oh, you hate black people. No, I don't hate black people. I don't hate black people. What I don't like is I don't like shiesty people. I don't want to have to worry about whether I'm going to get robbed just because I'm wearing a certain color. I don't want to have to worry about whether I'm going to be, whether I'm gonna be approached by a bunch of people, somebody begging for money that might try to rob me if I turn my back. You know what I mean? I don't want to be around a bunch of people that are fighting and just going on and may have, like, the fight may escalate into somebody shooting. I don't want to be around that every day, waking up in the middle of the night to gunshots. Who wants to be around that? Why is that a flex? Only in the black community is being from the hood a flex. That just, and that's my problem with this guy. Only in black culture is it a flex for you to be from the bottom of the barrel. It's a flex, and it's not. It's not. Young people want to go. Well, young people want to. You saw this as an example with King and T.I., with T.I.'s son. How he was talking. He was mad at his parents, publicly embarrassed his family because they said that he wasn't from the hood, so he had to stand on business. Got choked out by his dad in front of everybody, making the family look bad. Making the family look bad because he want to be from the hood. He wants to be from the hood. He wants to be standing on business. That's the type of culture that we live in. Hood culture is glorified. And if that's what if that's what the black community idolizes, and that's the idolatry that black community is going to continue to present itself as, then guess what? I'm going to continue to call the culture trash. Because only in black culture are you celebrated from being from the hood, for being from low class. And I'm not saying that like it doesn't mean that you can't be good from the hood. There are people with money in the hood. There are people with opportunities in the hood. What I'm saying is, in general, there's a mentality that comes along with hood culture. So you can take the person out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of the person. I use the example of St. Louis. People came from the city and moved to the county, aka the suburbs, and guess what? They brought that mentality. And 20 years later, you can't tell the difference. You're not any safer in the suburbs than you are in the city. And you know why? It's because people brought a mentality. And that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about a mentality, the hood mentality. Fuck where you grew up. Sorry, fuck where you grew up. Because at the end of the day, people are not judging you because of where you come from. They're judging you because of the actions of people, the mentality of people. And guess what? You don't do anything to fight that narrative. You support the hood music. You support the hood behavior. You participate in it. You're complacent in it, or both. Or both. At the end of the day, I'm tired of sitting here just listening to people make excuses for bad behavior. And that's the truth. The black community, the black culture, and the hood culture specifically, they have a bad image and a bad rep because of their behavior. Nobody is pointing a gun to their head telling them to do the things that they do that warrant the way people view them. And that's a fact. That's a fact. Lynn says Thomas Sowell agrees with you, Jay, and that man is an American treasure. He's been correct for 70 years. Yeah, I actually agree to him. I think that Thomas Sowell gives like a great intellectual black or commentary on black culture, and that's something that we really don't see a lot. Because at the end of the day, a lot of the black intellectuals, they all happen to fall on one side of the political spectrum. You know what I mean? So that's quote unquote. But yeah, it's just frustrating. And I really, I really like I like Thomas Sowell, and you know I appreciate you guys for the comments. Thanks for tuning in again. Like I always say, you could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I sincerely appreciate you for that. Let's go ahead and just listen to this video just a little bit more.
And they will assess the kind of person they believe you to be and what they believe you are capable of being. And so to see people, black people who should understand what it's like to live in this country, right? Us look at me, right? And look at my neighbor, my friend, the people I grew up with as threats because of how they sound, how they dress, how they look, not because of anything they've done, right? That's anti-black. That's internalized racism. That is you being afraid of poor black people.
No, you should 100% be afraid of poor people. I hate to say that, but I'm just look, I'm not talking about just people. Like, I'm not saying that they're good people, but if you have something of value, yes, you should be cautious about people that don't have anything. You should be. Do y'all remember just last year or the year before that, the Kia Boys? Do y'all remember that? Have y'all heard about the Kia Boys? How they were just going around stealing people's cars. No reason, no method, didn't even want the cars most of the time. They were just going around, driving around, taking it because you got it. Taking it because you got it. Do y'all remember, I just had it. It'll come back to me. But the Squeegee Boys. Do y'all remember the people where they sit there and they try to wash your windows? They were in Atlanta, and the Water Boys and the Squeegee Boys, where they would sit there, they'd either want to wash your windows or they try to get you to buy a bottle of water. And if you wouldn't, what would they do? They'd attack you. They would vandalize your car. They would throw something at you. They would literally try to harm you because you wasn't trying to help them. Have you ever told a panhandler no? You seen the look that they give you? No, it's like, we're not finna just sit here and act like it's internalized racism to be afraid of poor people. It's a class thing. Most people should be afraid of poor people because guess what? Some poor people don't have the self-control. And why would you take the risk? Why would you open yourself up to the risk that one could do something to you just to spare the feelings and emotions of the rest? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Because think about it. All it takes is one time for you to lose your life. All it takes is one experience, one robbery, one situation, one negative encounter, one negative outcome, and guess what? We're not in a video game. It's over. Talked yesterday. Black culture doesn't even value, like, the culture itself doesn't even value life, hood or not. You know why? Think about it. Think about all the violent crime, how readily people are just to unalive each other over stupid stuff. We seen how the kids are because we see fight videos all the time of them doing just these egregious acts to each other, just these insane, vicious acts of violence. And these are teens. Let's talk about the adults too, because guess what? They pull out their phones and they record just like the kids do. They take out their phones and record themselves fighting grown-ass adults. Grown people. So of course the kids are going to do it. Of course they're going to do it. And we see it all the time, but nobody actually wants to talk about the actual problems or the roots of these problems. Nobody wants to talk about the roots of these problems, the actual issue, the actual performance, the actual way that the community itself is making itself look bad and therefore creating a traumatic experience. Why is it that people from the hood are having PTSD on the same level of people that went to war? Because they're in war. You tell me why living in a neighborhood will literally give you the same mental damage as someone who went to war. Someone who had to fight for the country. Had to fight for the country. And the hood gives them that same damage, that same mental destruction, that same destruction of their psyche, that same internalized pain. It's insane to sit there and just think and try to pretend and paint black like this hood culture as something positive. It's not. It's not positive. Doesn't mean you can't make the best of it. Listen to what I'm saying. It doesn't mean that you can't make the best of it. But at the end of the day, it's destructive. It means you know well. The streets don't love nobody. The streets don't even love themselves. It's just, am I tripping? Like, am I tripping? Let me know if I'm off, because I can only go off of my experiences and the stories that I've listened to and all those kind of things. I have never had an issue in the hood. I will say that. Have I been, am I and do I consistently remain anxious and on guard in the hood? Yes. You know why? Because I've heard of stuff happening to people. I know people that it's happened to. Just because I've gotten lucky doesn't mean that I should be ignorant of the fact of real people's experiences. So why can't you, hood? Why can't you hood people at least be acknowledge the fact that your culture? But no, you want to label somebody as anti-black because they don't want to grow up in a lifestyle, or because they don't want to be around a lifestyle that literally gives people war trauma. War trauma. It's just insane. Time says, Lynn, blessings. Shout out to Time. Shout out to y'all camaraderie. I love it. Veronica says it's the majority of the Veronica says it's the majority of the black women, rich and poor. They love ninjas. Yeah, I mean, when you're right, you're right. When you're right, they do like they love the ninjas. So I mean, let's take it in a scenario, right? Like Kevin Samuels used to always talk about the Thanos snap, right? So let's take a Thanos snap and let's just say we're in a world now where all women have decided that they are no longer going to support, deal with, or have any type of relations with men that are engaged in pookie behavior. No more love for pookies. Let's just imagine this world. Let's imagine this world, because Veronica is on to something here. Let's imagine a world where women stop entertaining pookies. Guess what? Isn't it possible that men would stop being pookies? Isn't it possible? Isn't it possible that eventually pookies would fade out? May not happen overnight, may be some resistance, but isn't it possible? Isn't it possible? Because women have influenced the world a lot. They influence the world a lot. Let's just think, like I said, Thanos snap. What happens? What happens when there's no more pookies? Guess what? That mentality is what gotta go. That mentality is what's gotta go, guys. It has nothing to do with where you live or where you from. But it's that mentality. And that's why when we talk about ninjas and when we distinguish ninjas from black men, we're talking about the mentality. It's a mentality. It's the mentality that makes people not want to deal with hood people. It's the mentality that how you are perceived, why the Ishas and the Mikas and all of them, why they might have a hard time. Because generally, the association comes because the hood puts out trash. It puts out trash. And guess what? Hood people, listen to me clearly. If you want people to change how you look, change your representative. Change your representative. Change your branding. Change your marketing strategy. Stop celebrating bottom of the barrel shit and start adjusting and putting out what you want people to see. If you're okay with the hood booger narrative, then shut up about it. Don't sit there and criticize people for being afraid of you. Trying to weave you back in. No. Either you want to be looked at differently, and you're gonna change your representative. You're gonna change how you market yourself. You're gonna change how you brand yourself, and you're gonna look and focus on creating a better narrative for hood people versus getting mad and trying to shame people for calling out your bad behavior. How about that? How about that? Absolutely, Veronica. Absolutely. See, I was getting down with you. I was picking up what you were putting down. I get it. If women started loving doctors, Pookie would be lined up trying to get a degree, and that's a fact. I agree. I think that the reason we have what we have now is because women love Pookies. Women love Pookies, so there are men that are making themselves Pookies. They aren't even natural Pookies. They make themselves Pookies. Imagine that. Imagine that.
You think that
Thank you for your
what it
comments,
means.
Veronica. Seriously, I appreciate it. Appreciate you, Time. Appreciate you, Maria, Lynn. I appreciate everybody for watching. Thank you.
To be hood is to be a fucking felon. Like, you know. And while you're busy separating yourself from them, I need you to know that no amount of speaking, no amount of speech, no amount of dressing a certain way, doesn't matter the fucking job you have or how much money you make. They look at you the same way you look at hood people.
Why do people, I knew he was going to say that. Why is it that people automatically assume that just because you don't want to be associated with hood culture, or you're willing to divest yourself from black culture, that you automatically want to be part of white culture? What ever gave you the idea that anybody ever said that they wanted to be white? Or that we wanted to be part of European culture? I can only speak for myself. I have never wanted to be white. Never wanted to be part of European culture. And it's insane to me to try to sit there and act like just because you don't want to associate with trash and you don't want to be associated or affiliated with trash, never are you going to sit there and try to make me believe that I want to be European. No, I don't. I don't want to be European. I don't want to be European. I don't want to be white. I want to be what I am. And that is not trash. Not associated with trash. Guess what? Whatever box you want to put me, it doesn't reflect what box I put myself in. We have the power. And that's my problem with black culture in general. You have more power, opportunity, and ability than any of your ancestors. But guess what? You so busy worried about being a victim that you won't even embrace it. And then you wonder why the other blacks in the diaspora sit there and have such a low opinion of you. I wonder why. Wonder why. No. You're off. You're off, my guy. It's just the truth. You're off. Veronica says, great topic and show. Thank you, Veronica, for watching, stopping through. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you, sincerely.
Live in that cognitive dissonance. Question why you feel this way. really think to yourself, what makes you anxious about that? Okay?
You are black and you are
That's what I'm talking about, man. It's just insane. It's really insane. Like how are you sitting there gonna tell me that I want to be something that I'm not? I have never wanted to be. And this is the kind of stuff that used to trigger me in the comments when I first started this, because I never said that I wanted to be white. I just don't want to associate myself with a culture. I don't define myself by blackness. I'm a lot of things. Being black is not even top 10. It's not even top 10. And I genuinely feel bad for people whose only sole identity lies in their blackness, lies in where they're from, the culture that they're from. The only thing that defines you is what you choose to be. So if you choose to be a victim, guess what? You're going to always be a victim. But don't sit there and blame the white man for that. No, blame your culture, because your culture should be teaching you that you should be better. But guess what? It can't, because it's so busy trying to destroy itself. Then people want to sit there and give me pushback because I think that it's imploding. I absolutely think it's imploding. Because what do you think is going to happen when all the men are acting like women, when all the women are acting like men, people can't get along? Guess what? You know what happens when men and women can't get along? They stop reproducing. You know what happens when they stop reproducing? Your society is going to fall off. It's going to disappear. The kids that we are having, their lives are basically over before it starts almost, because they taught trash. They're either taught trash or they're so miserable and upset because of the circumstances that they were brought into that guess what? They taking their own, have y'all actually looked and paid attention to how many people are unaliving themselves right now? How upset people really are? How in much turmoil people really are? And people love to just sit there and just blame it on them being weak. No, it's more than that. It's more than that. People are realizing that this is not right. We are not on the right side of history, black community. Listen to me. You're not on the right side. Now, people like me, I'm going to say that I divest. I'm going to say divest because guess what? I don't believe that you should be trying to light up the darkness. No, I believe that you go outside, you build your island, you build your tribe, and guess what? You become a beacon and hope that other people come with you. Try to save who you can. Noah's Ark was not built for everybody, and I say it all the time. Noah's Ark was not built for everybody. Save who you can. Save who you can. Save who you can, because at the end of the day, we gonna go crazy trying to change a culture when the culture don't want to change. The culture doesn't want to change. And I'm not gonna sit up here like some Dr. Umar Johnson or something like that and sit there and try to sell people a lie. I'm not gonna do it. No. I'm not gonna tell you that the white man is doing this to you, because he's not. Self-accountability. When I talked about how I dumbed my speech down, you know how hard that is to turn off now? I've dumbed my speech down because I didn't like being talked about for saying words with multiple syllables, but talking properly. My mom experienced that, talking properly. They called her Oreo. What? They say you talk like a white girl. All these things that people really experience in real life, in the hood. But because you don't associate that, or because you're among it and you live in it, then you think that that's okay, and it's not. It's not. It's a representation of the culture. It's a representation of the culture. And at the end of the day, we can sit up and pretend, just play the fool, but it's just sad. It's just sad. It's really sad. It's really sad. Like, let's look at another video.
But it's a 2-slide slideshow. It says, I used to be afraid to admit this as a black person, but I'm not afraid anymore. I get really nervous and anxious when I'm around.
Sorry about that. Real quick, Lynn says facts. Shout out to Lynn. Appreciate you. Let's go back to this real quick.
Hood people. And then I went to the comment section, right? Shawty said, girl, I don't even go over there. I don't know the rules. This is so unfortunate for women specifically, like who grew up in the suburbs, because no matter what, like if you go around some hood dudes, they don't mess with you. They don't mess with you at all. Especially if they can tell you not from around here, they do not mess with you. They hit you with what's going on, man. They don't mess with you. Hood girls really are the mean. Don't let them be attractive. Mean hood girls, that has to be the scariest shit ever for y'all, right? Because there's two types. There's a really, really nice ghetto black girl. That's really, really nice. There's no in between, y'all. And then there's the ones who are really, really mean to the ones who are from the suburbs. There is no in between. You just gotta hope you got one of the really nice ones. Jesus Christ. I've said it time and time again. Men, y'all might have some deep, dark hate for women deep down inside because y'all feel like women are evil. Women are never as evil to men as they are to women. Oh my God. Bro, the preppy black girls can't catch a break. The preppy white girls don't like them. The other preppy black girls be trying to be the other token, so they be beefing. And then they got to choose to be around the correct hood black girls. It's just never a good deal. Meanwhile, dudes just be cool, bro. I've seen this shit firsthand. Dudes are just cool. Other than that real small select group of them specifically black dudes who come from not so good of a neighborhood, they be athletes, sometimes they be assholes, sometimes they put their hands on people type shit, like bullying type shit. But that group is much smaller than mean girls in school specifically. Boy, girls, I done told y'all stories. I remember a girl getting stomped out by other girls until she pissed on herself, and then they recorded her and took pictures of her.
Jesus Christ. Did you hear that? Did you hear what he just said? He just said these girls stomped her out until she pissed herself. She pissed herself, and then they took out their cameras and recorded it. I've heard stories about like that happen around here. I'm not going to speak on it, but guess what? It wasn't in the city. Wasn't in the hood. It's a mentality. Like I said, it's a mentality. We're talking about the hood mentality. It's not where you live. It's the mentality that you bring. If you live in the county and you live in the suburbs and you have a hood mentality, or you bring a hood mentality with you, then guess what? You still part of the problem. You're just as bad. You're just as bad. And I agree, Maria, that's horrible, but it's as much as bad as it is, that story is not really shocking to me. It's not really shocking to me. That kind of stuff literally happens every day. Every day. And it goes viral, and people put it on the internet, and they parade it around for everybody to see, and then nobody's worried about the mental of these people, and it's just sad. It's really sad. It's really sad.
That's just one example. You know, it's crazy. It ain't even just black girls. White girls too, yeah. Boy, during that narcissistic development into like women, y'all be the devil. Y'all be the devil. I don't know if y'all have seen this.
But y'all are so scared about that y'all posting about, they don't give a fuck about y'all. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. They not stunning y'all. Like, I promise y'all the last thing on their mom. I think y'all associate criminals in the word ghetto or hood people as the same. Just because you're from the hood, that doesn't mean that you're a criminal. And just because you're a criminal doesn't mean you're from the hood. What y'all really don't like is criminals. But you bitches don't want to say that. You bitches are talking about, oh, I don't like hood people, I don't like ghetto people. No, bitch. You hoes is biased. And it's just like, I don't know, y'all. It's giving anti-black. Like, I don't know what y'all thought y'all was giving, or y'all thought y'all was eating by saying, oh, I'm a suburban black girl, I don't like hood girls. Bitch, like, who are y'all trying to impress? The ghetto people y'all are so scared about that y'all post
Oh, Jesus Christ.
about, they don't give a fuck about y'all. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. They not.
All the responses say that they do, honestly. The very fact that you're making a response about this says that you do. It says that you care. You care. You care, and it's okay. You care.
Last thing, y'all. Like, I promise y'all the last thing on their mom. I think y'all associate criminals in the word ghetto or hood people as the same. Just because you're from the hood, that doesn't mean that you're a criminal. And just because you're a criminal doesn't mean you're from the hood.
I dare anybody with this argument to look up the crime rates of to look up the crime rates in ghetto areas, in ghetto hood areas. Look at those crime rates. Look at the violent crime rates, the robberies, the thefts, the unaliving. Look at all that. Compare those numbers. Compare those numbers to any other place in a city. Compare those numbers. But, oh yeah, I forgot. You know, the white man is manipulating those numbers. I'm sorry. I remember.
What y'all really don't like is criminals. But you bitches don't want to say that. You bitches are talking about, oh, I don't like
Y'all know I love y'all. I really need to be getting to work.
hood people. I don't like ghetto people. No, bitch. You hoes is biased. And it's just like, I don't know, y'all. It's giving anti-black. Like, I don't know what y'all.
I've already debunked that it's not anti-black because a lot of people don't actually have a problem with black people, and they also don't even have a problem with the hood. They have a problem with the behavior and the mentality of the people from the hood. That's the issue that they have. It's not about being in the hood. It's about what they've seen and experienced or heard about from the hood. It's what the hood it's what the hood markets itself for. That's why I said if the hood actually cared about the perception that it had, it would change its representative. Change the person or the people that you have representing the hood, and don't allow the people that are negative influences to perpetrate as the hood. If the hood really cares about its image, check that. You need to be the same smoke that you have for her is what you need to be directing at the people that are making your hood look bad. You care about the hood so much, then stop going after this woman because she spoke her mind. Stop going after people that agree with her and start going after the people that are making your hood look bad. Where's the smoke for them? Where's the smoke for the people that are actually doing the things that make you look bad? You want, like Maria mentioned it earlier, you want to talk about Uncle Toms? You want to talk about a real Uncle Tom? You want to talk about a real raccoon? You want to talk about a real menace to society or real making black people look bad? Let's talk about it. The people from the hood are the real ones. They're the real ones. You're the real clowns making the hood look bad, making black culture look bad, making the black community look bad. And guess what? You don't have the right to sit there and criticize people for their experiences because that's what you do. That's what you put out. And no, criminal and hood are not mutually exclusive. But guess what? The behavior that is exhibited in the hood cannot be ignored. And the fact that people try to cap and try to pretend like, oh, wow, it's not that bad. Oh, it's not that bad. No, you're wrong. You're a liar. You're a liar. You're a liar. It's the truth, and it's not anti-black. You change the behavior, you change your image, you change how people perceive you, and then guess what? You won't look as bad. You won't look as bad, and then maybe people won't have the same fear that they do. Then maybe people won't fear you the way they do. Change your UCFA representative. Sorry. I'm trying to stop cussing. I'm trying to, guys. I'm trying to. It's not anti-black.
Thought y'all was giving, or y'all thought y'all was eating by saying, oh, I'm a suburban black girl, I don't like hood girls. Bitch, like, who are y'all trying to impress? The ghetto people y'all are.
It's just sickening. It's just sorry. It's sorry. And I'm gonna be 100. I think that this is a conversation that's worth exploring more. So we're probably gonna talk about this more. But I do I am about to get out of here, so I appreciate you guys for watching. You know, this is just a nice little short stream. I just want to start doing these and share my thoughts on stuff. I appreciate all you guys for watching. Like I said before, you could be anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here watching this stream with me and chilling with me. I appreciate you. I rock with you, and thank you for rocking with me. On that note, much love to you guys. I'm J Red Unfiltered, and I am signing out.